One of the biggest news of this year in the car market, the VW ID. Bus, the all-electric microbus. Thomas with Autogefuehl, and today we're already going to drive this one, see how that one goes. It's very interesting because it's kind of unique on the market. This is still a camouflage launch paint. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so far to see the final paint very soon. But already today, not only driving but also all the details in the technology, battery and so on. Let's go! Huge VW logo here. There's a special background story on that one. We'll also clear that for you in another design video. But you can see they kinda went for a retro design, not 100% like this, wall design from the T1. Also for crash safety, they had to do like something of a hood. Then the headlamps, no round though, but more in the ID design language. Here, optional with the IQ Light, the Matrix LED. But overall, a very likable design, a friendly face for the ID. Bus. And it is actually very interesting because it will be available in the short wheelbase and also in the long wheelbase. We have here today the short wheelbase version, which is 4.71 m or 185 inches. And we can expect that the long wheelbase version will be like a little bit longer than both wheelbase and also the rear overhang. Here in the sidebar we can see the typical microbus form follows function to have most space on the inside. The battery size will be so far than 77 kWh net. We know it is also being used in the ID.4, for example. There you can score some 400 kilometers or 250 miles of range. This is the heavier vehicle, so probably it will then be a little bit less, but we're soon going to find out more about that. What's interesting is, well, very short front overhang. Here the 20-inch wheels, they will up to 21-inch wheels be available, the smallest one 18. But actually it's all about the rear, because this here is rear wheel driven. That makes a small turning circle of just 11 meters and also supposed to have a sporty driving experience. And how agile will it be? That's what I'm going to find out today later in this review. Here, let's finish out the exterior. IQ Light already begins here at the side. If you have that optional lighting, you also have it a little bit more spectacular from the lights right here. And then towards the rear, light strip goes all the way through. And once again, this typical box design. There is the EQV from Mercedes, but other than that, this is kind of unique on the market. And also pricing will be very interesting at the later stage. So will this one really change the EV market? What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Charging 11 kilowatt AC or 170 kilowatt, that's new, DC. And then you'll have 5 to 80% state of charge in 30 minutes. So that's a big improvement to the current models due to new cell architecture from the batteries, and probably also other ID models will profit from that. This one also able to do bi-directional charging, so it can also give away the energy again. Not allowed to show you the interior just yet. This will also come very soon here on our Autogefuehl channel. What I can tell you already is 204 horsepower from the first engine version that is to come, and 145 kilometers an hour or 90 miles per hour is the top speed. By the way, this one here will also return to the US, so with electrification, the US market will get the microbus again, just then only in the long wheelbase version, so not here in the short wheelbase version. Already the short wheelbase is around 3 meters of wheelbase, so really massive. And then you can pick in Europe between short and long wheelbase, and again US the long wheelbase. And this is the passenger version actually, but just here wrapped with this with this foil. But there will be also a cargo version, so for commercial use, and this one will, for example, be here all wide out. This one only a short wheelbase, and it will not come to the US, which has some taxation regulations actually as a reason, because you have to pay an extra tax if you want to put commercial vehicles from Europe to the US. So US customers will have this one here as long wheelbase, and we in Europe, we can actually pick between both. Yeah, but what about the driving? Let's go. Now driving the VW ID. Bus for the very first time, and we're also joined by Klaus Zyciora, VW Head of Design, and we also have a separate design talk about it. This here is to focusing on the driving impression and everything, and we're also driving through Hamburg today. So it's actually a quite interesting test because, I mean, it's a long vehicle, but it's all electric now, low center of gravity with all of the batteries, rear-wheel drive, and the question is it also suitable for the city. And I have to say, from my first driving impressions, it handles so well and easily. Steering has a great and direct input. Here, for example, overtaking maneuver with a cyclist. Now some cobblestones here in the harbor city. Fairly comfortable from the suspension. Although we know that Klaus always puts the biggest wheels on the vehicles, right?
That's true, but the big wheels also serve another purpose. If you still have enough rubber around it, it's delivering not only great proportions, it's delivering also a great driving comfort.
Yeah, I mean, here so far, the compromise is actually quite good, because here when I do some lane changing, it's like immediate direction from the vehicle. It feels really sporty, and I mean, we're driving this microbus, but it feels like a smaller vehicle actually. It's really agile to drive, and also if you compare, I mean, we've been driving the combustion engine versions of this one here for decades, and here we have the direct throttle input. It's smooth, it's not, let's say, too fast, 204 horsepower. So it's not that it would be, putting some too much G-force on the passenger. You know that feeling when you're a passenger in an EV and you're going like because of the recuperation and the strong power and so on. But here I think quite smooth on the passenger, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, we are creating with EVs in general, but with this one specifically, a new type of relaxed driving. It's not, you're not this pushy, you have room around you. It's rather about traveling together and make the time that you travel special and cool. Also when we talk to each other,
it's really silent.
It's super silent. Yeah. Also, if you go fast, it's super silent, and yeah, it's a cathedral for music and for social activities, to talk to each other.
Cornelius, our cameraman, is also in here in the back. We can't hear him because it's so silent. He's listening to the sound. Is he still checking the sound? I hope so.
It's great, yeah.
It's great. Our sound is great, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's windy today outside, it's raining.
Actually, we do have a big storm coming.
Yeah.
So if the wind noise is a little remarkable, that comes from the big storm that is heading towards us.
And we also have that electric torque. I mean, I'm just rolling now, and that really goes forward very well, but not too extreme. We have some EVs out there that have like such abundance of power that it really, almost makes you feel uncomfortable when you're not really ready for that, or when you don't want to go racing or something. But here I think very smooth transition. The size of the vehicle actually does the car very well. You would maybe suppose the smaller and more agile the car is, the better. But here, having that power on that, on that long wheelbase is actually quite good also for the stability, for the acceleration. Maybe you've also seen that BMW has brought out this electric scooter, and it has like a massive long wheelbase, and they told me they made that you don't lift the front wheel because there's so much power. Actually, design-wise, also interesting. Like with this, connecting of technology and design, which is probably also a big thing for you, right?
Yeah, for the interior design, this skateboard type platform that the MEB is delivering it's awesome. Yeah, the wheels are in the corner. You have a wider track. You have big wheels and tons of interior space, and a flat floor. How long had we to design something around these huge middle tunnels? So it's all gone. It's all now flexible storage space, and yeah, for me, again, the place to be, for comfortable traveling and having fun on the road, with the family, with friends, with your dog, with your surfboard in it or your bike. You can just roll it in and off you go. So this fun to drive approach of the ID bus is, from my point of view, great.
Yeah, I think it's really relaxing. By the way, we have a prototype vehicle here, so we are not allowed to show you like the interior space, and have to check like where GPS-wise we have to go.
Still straight ahead.
Straight, and yeah, I think it's not like we have to recenter the. There we go. Yeah, straight and then right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's really astonishing. You have power, but it's kind of like smooth in your orientation. Suspension-wise, also very good compromise, very good comfort. And you have to think about that, you know, we talked earlier about making like a unique vehicle. There is nothing in, you know, you could say like the EQV, like the electric V-Class, that would be the direct competitor. But here, you mean, you have a lot of these mid-size EVs now, like the VW ID4 and Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, almost everything. Fisker now with Fisker, everyone's jumping on this segment. But here, still quite standing alone, having a lot of space on the inside, still already electric. Is it something where you say like, do you expect other manufacturers to also hop on this train, or do you think that, you know, we will be alone on this one?
Yeah, I think that there will be some competition in the future, because this recipe of delivering tons of interior space is of course a good one on the functional side. You can house 7 people plus luggage. That is an undeniable advantage of such a product, and there's a demand for this. Yeah, so I guess the competition will also deliver something here, but nobody else can do this with so much sympathy and character, and nobody else has a history, the heritage with this great product. So yeah, we of course welcome the competition, and we will have a great time together.
Just a quick acceleration from 0. Woo. Oh, and then all the transporters. I couldn't see the speed here now because I'm not allowed to show you that actually. So I can only take a look at that myself when I have the other cameras activated. Oh my God, that looks amazing! You will soon see it also. You know, you will soon also see it in the final version. I'm definitely not allowed to say yet, but again, you will soon see that. Today, really about the driving, and yeah, I'm still amazed of like how well it does drive, also in comparison to the combustion engines. It's really silent. It feels like a passenger car. At the same time, it delivers kind of the space of a commercial vehicle, and it handles so smooth and easy. That's to me the biggest thing. So also with this comfortable upright seating position and so on. So that's to me like the biggest thing. It's such a relaxing and smooth ride. That's actually quite cool. Yeah, now I have to go. Not even sure what all of this.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's
yeah,
a mess.
Yeah. I just turn left and then yeah. Sometimes even as a German, you have to. You know, you always say like bend the rules, don't break the rules, right? Are you also
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you working like this in design? Probably also because the engineers are like, no, we could not do this. This is not too. This is too expensive. This is too complicated. It's like, yeah, we know, but it looks cool, right? You know. So now next corner. Wow, I mean, it literally drives sporty, although from the outside it would be like the last thing you would expect from this vehicle to be sporty, you know. And I think that's yeah, that's definitely the biggest advantage here of the EVs, that you can have cars that are not sporty at all, actually by design or by nature, and make them kind of like sporty from the experience. The rear-wheel drive also has a big effect of that. I really love that. It also has a super narrow turning circle, actually just like 11 meters. And especially when you're here in city traffic, need to do some overtaking maneuvers and so on. It's just so quickly that you're on speed again, and also around the corners. And this maneuverability, actually, sometimes you have big vehicles and you say like, I don't want to go with that one in the city, you know.
No, but it is quite compact in its footprint. Yeah, you have to know, it's literally 100 millimeter longer than a Touran. or 100 millimeters shorter than a Charan. So it's quite compact in its dimensions. So I think that you will be surprised how easily you can park it and how compact it is overall. And at the same time, you have the interior space of a T6. Yeah? That's a great advantage of that thing.
Yeah, you guys, you maybe have seen like how easily I'm easing that car around the corners. That's to me actually the coolest thing. So if you ask me, would I go for like such a building style as a combustion engine or as an electric? I mean, yeah, if you do like a holiday trip and run like 10,000 kilometers or something, maybe from Norway to Spain, okay, then with electric vehicles, it's still some kind of a problem. Only and when we have better charging infrastructure, it will be easier. But for everything else, I would say this is just delivering the better, the easier, more fun, and also more comfortable driving experience, I think. So
Absolutely.
what would you think about trading in your Touareg for this one then?
If I only would be able to do so, I would do it immediately. Yeah? But you can imagine that there's a long waiting list for guys who want to drive that thing, and customer comes first, of course.
Oh, so even if you say like I want one, then
Yeah,
accounting says nah.
No,
Thomas ordered one before.
I might say that, but that not means that I get one.
Oh, okay, interesting. Here another lane change here. Immediate reaction. Yeah, having so much fun with it, and yeah, maybe there will be even some I don't know, VW bus racing events or something, because yeah, I mean. Maybe put some more weight in the vehicle, even to have even more lower center of gravity. I don't know. Tune the engines or something. Motors, you have to say, right? You can't say engine anymore now. Electric motors then.
Electric
Yeah.
motors.
Yeah. Then maybe some different suspension, and then you have a great track vehicle, right? And everyone else can join, you know, in the back of the car. That would be a lot of fun.
Imagine, a tuned ID bus. We had this in the past with the T1 a lot. A lot of individual vehicles, of course, tuned with Porsche engines and stuff. So that's a big future for that.
Yeah, I hope your colleagues from engineering department are listening.
I see the penalty coming.
Yeah, I mean, there is this GTX brand which has done the all-wheel drive models for the ID family.
Yeah.
This is also here the ID family. So I'm just taking a wild guess here now, and look at your eye movement, and saying like there might be a GTX version also for the ID bus.
I wish for it. I wish for it.
And then maybe like GTX RS, then with, I mean, you have a lot of space here for additional electric motors, right, in the rear, and maybe for, you know, I don't know. Well, with combustion engine, you had like, you know, the NOS injection or something. Not sure what you can do with the electric motors. A hack maybe, like a hacked ID bus or so, for even more performance. Yeah, but that's future definitely. What is right now is definitely, this is like a really convincing ride, and it can keep up with any other EV experience actually, although it's a completely different body type. And if you want to see more of Klaus and me talking about design and also about his job in general, we have a separate video on that. You can tune into this one. This is also very exciting. And of course, if you want to see more about the VW ID family, we also have more reviews, for example, also from the ID3.